So I will introduce the laryngeal cavity to you. Okay, so that's the laryngeal cavity. They all formed by cartilage, okay, hyaline cartilage. First one is the voice box, Adam's apple. So that's we call thyroid cartilage. So thyroid cartilage is the prominence. So they formed the cartilage. So we have the thyroid cartilage, and we have the epiglottis cartilage, and we have the cricoid cartilage, and we still have very small to control vocal fold. So that's we call the adenoid cartilage. So first, the large one, voice box. Okay, good. So that's we call thyroid cartilage. So we immediately notch the Adam's apple. So that's we call the laryngeal prominence. And above, that's we call superior laryngeal notch. So it's look like a shared shape. Okay. Posterior side, look at here. Posterior side is empty. And the inferior, we have the cornea. Okay. Now I will introduce cricoid cartilage. So cricoid cartilage, be careful, is the only surround ring cartilage in our respiratory system. So its position is the cervical vertebral 6. So totally, laryngeal cavity is from the C4 to C6. So this is the position. So anyone can tell me, how about above C4? Yes, above C4 is the pharynx. Okay, good. So now I will introduce the epiglottis to you. So epiglottis is just the laryngeal aperture, close, open, close, open. So the food coming in or the food come out didn't come in. So the food coming in the esophagus and the air coming in the laryngeal cavity. So that's what we call the epiglottis. So when we are a child, our parents always tell us, when you're eating, do not talking. So why? Because when we're eating the food, epiglottis would close the laryngeal cavity, and the food would come in the esophagus to the posterior portion. If we're eating and we are talking, so what would happen? So epiglottis would make a long decision. So if food coming in, he just open, so the food easily go inside the trachea. Yes. So it's very dangerous. Okay. So last one, so arytenoid cartilage. So we have two, so right, left pairs. So we have two processes, muscular process and vocal process. So it would be control the vocal fold or vocal ligament, tighten or loosen. So if tighten, so our sound is a very high frequency, and if losing, so the frequency of our sound would be reduced. Okay, so look like that. So all these cartilages, they joined together, so they formed. So one by one, be careful. Laryngeal cavity, above laryngeal cavity, we still have the hyoid bone. So hyoid bone, between hyoid bone and the thyroid cartilage, so we have the higher thyroid joint. So this joint, they get together and they form the ligament and the membrane. So I will introduce one by one to you. So number one, superior portion. So superior portion, that's what we call the conjugal membrane. So it's between thyroid cartilage and epiglottis and adenoid cartilage. So be careful. So inferior free margin, so that's formed the vocal fold or vocal ligament. Number two, so between adenoid cartilage, thyroid cartilage, and cricoid cartilage, so that's what we call corners of the elasticus. Okay. So this membrane. So be careful. Superior one is the low border free margin, and the low one is the upper border free margin. So this upper border free margin, that's what we call the vocal ligament. So I speak something, so it's shortness, so all it's the vocal ligament. Cricoid cartilage just joined to the trachea, so that's what we call the cricoid trachea ligament. So there, the air would be coming in the trachea. It's a position on the C6. Okay, so I just finished the cartilage and the joint and the ligament and the membrane. The laryngeal cavity is look like a tube, okay? And inside I already tell you, we have two free margin enlarged, so just curved. So that's what we call above vestibular fold and vocal fold. So between vestibular fold, so that's what we call the vestibular fissure. And between vocal fold, that's what we call the glottis fissure. So we divide three cavity. So above the vestibular fissure, so that's what we call the laryngeal vestibular. And between vestibular fold and vocal fold, so that's what we call the intermediate laryngeal cavity. And the last one, so below vocal fold, that's what we call the infloglottis cavity. So totally we have three cavity, okay? So laryngeal vestibular, intermediate cavity, and infloglottis cavity. So one more question. If a child, they eat peanuts, and suddenly the peanuts would be coming in their respiratory system, so always clot which part? So the question, another form is who can tell me the narrowest space in our respiratory system? Yes, it's the glottis fissure. It's a glottis fissure. It's between two vocal folds. So look at this picture. When we make a sound, so you can see this picture. So the vocal fissure would be open, close, open, close. When open, losing. When closing, is tightened. So we make the sound higher and low.